villages of Pavlovsky district. Two boys, Maxim and Dima, lived in a small house. They rarely saw their parents. Their father left long ago, and their absent-minded mother appeared once a week and disappeared again in search of a new suitor. She did not spoil them with food. She brought them a loaf of bread, and that was all. One day a neighbor noticed that their mother had not been home for a long time and called the police. A group of policemen arrived, including warrant officer Sergei Shirokov. Sergei recalls that his heart was crushed by what he saw. There was a broken window in the house. Maxim was stuffing it with some rags, and it was blowing because it was March. There was a dirty bed on the beds, no pillows or blankets. There was no food. Sergei felt uncomfortable. The older Maxim wrapped his brother in a mattress to keep him warm. It was very cold indoors. It was a horrible sight. And then in the ensign's head the thought "I'll take them" flashed through his head, and already in his ear he asked, "Well, boys, shall we go to my place?" But the boys were so frightened that they only hid behind the woman from the custodial service. But suddenly, Maxim just like shouting, "Daddy, how did I not recognize you then? I have goosebumps running down my arms. Such pleasant and tears come up here. It is impossible to remain indifferent." "Excited," says Sergei. Of course, the children were immediately taken to the hospital for tests. For 6 whole days the boys have been sitting in a cold house, gnawing on one loaf of bread for 2, saving their lives. Sergei's wife, Yulina, says she knew right away that it was serious. They already had a son who was about to turn 1, and Lena also had 3 daughters from a previous marriage. But she saw that, because of these children her husband literally could not find peace. And suddenly, "Let's take them away, Lena," and it was out of the question. Just then the family sold the car. They wanted to change it, but decided that it could wait. Instead of new transportation, they bought the boys some winter and summer clothes, toys, and they also needed medicine, since both Maxim and Dima had a bunch of illnesses. Lena and her 1-year-old baby stood in many different places in order to receive all the documents for the adoption. The birth mother nevertheless showed up at the hospital to write a waiver. The doctors say that the children clung to her legs and could barely get them off of her. The mother left with a stone face. After being treated at the hospital, the children went to their new parents. Elena recalls that the first night, when she made their beds in their new beds, they whispered, "Oh, mommy, it feels so good. It was so cold and dirty at home." These words made my heart cringe. Now Maxim is 5, and Dima is 4, and Maxim thinks like an adult. "You know, Mom, I'll be like our dad. I'll have a big family, a house, and a jeep, and I'll never leave my kids."